Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL buzz over the last few days, you've probably seen the rumors swirling around the Seattle Seahawks and a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape their offense and really give them a serious boost for the stretch run of the season. And I'm talking about the possibility of acquiring none other than Mark Andrews, the all-pro tight end from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this isn't just your average rumor. It's gaining serious traction, especially with the trade deadline looming on November 4th. The Seahawks, sitting comfortably at 5-2, are looking to push even further, and bringing in Andrews could be the move that propels them from a good team to a true Super Bowl contender. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to see a tight end like Andrews in Seahawks colors, especially with how much he could change their offensive dynamics? So let's break this down. Andrews, at 30 years old, is the kind of mismatch nightmare that defenses absolutely dread. Think back to the peak of Gronkowski, and you start to get an idea of what Andrews can do, especially in the red zone. Last season, he played just 8 games, but still amassed 46 receptions for 512 yards and 6 touchdowns. His yards per catch sit at an impressive 11. And his catch rate is around 9%. What makes Andrews so dangerous is his ability to make contested catches, his route running, and his red zone efficiency. He's a reliable target in those high-pressure moments, which is exactly what Seattle needs. With his 6.3 yards after catch per reception and his 24 first downs just in 8 games, Andrews brings that extra gear to the Seahawks' offense. He's also a quality run blocker with an 83. 4 PFF grade, adding even more value to his game. Now, looking at his recent stats, Andrews has been healthy for the most part, with a minor injury in Week 2, a rib issue that didn't sideline him for long. In 2025, he's already shown he can perform at a high level, especially when healthy. And what's really interesting is how his presence would complement Seattle's current tight ends, especially if they manage to acquire him alongside the likes of Noah Fant, who's been a solid, if not spectacular, contributor with a PFF grade of 82. Fant and Andrews together could create a hybrid tight end duo that defenses just can't match up against, similar to what the Ravens once had with Andrews and Likely. Andrews versus the current Seahawks tight ends shows a clear advantage. He averages about 20 yards more per route and generates an extra EPA of around 10 per target, which is huge for a team looking to push their offensive efficiency to the next level. But of course, nothing in the NFL is just about talent. It's also about cap space and strategic moves. For Baltimore, they're in a different position. The Ravens are sitting at 6-2 with an $8.2 million cap space and are trying to manage their roster as they prepare for Lamar Jackson's massive $260 million extension. They could be open to moving Andrews if the right offer comes along, especially with the deadline approaching and the team looking to bolster their defense and other areas, like their defensive line, which has been solid but not elite this season. The Ravens' defense is giving up around 22 points per game, and their PFF grade for the defensive line is 81. They're also trying to keep their cap in check, so a trade involving Andrews might be a win-win, freeing up some cap space while getting a valuable pick in return. On the flip side, the Seahawks are sitting at 5-2 with about $4 million in cap space, which gives them some room to maneuver. The injury to Saubert, who's on IR with a calf issue, leaves a bit of a void at tight end, and Andrews could fill that gap perfectly. His addition would bring a new level of versatility and explosiveness to Seattle's red zone attack, which currently scores around 26 points per game. Right now, Seattle's offense is clicking under Shane Waldron's system, but adding a player like Andrews could push their scoring average even higher, potentially turning close games into blowouts. Let's talk about the impact Andrews could have. Statistically, he's projected to add over 900 yards to the Seahawks, total increase EPA in the red zone by about 22%, and add roughly 290 yards after the catch across the season. His touchdown count could go up by around 8, which is huge in tight games. And with Geno Smith at quarterback, who's been surprisingly efficient this season, Andrews would serve as a top-tier target that defenses would have to double-team or bracket, opening up more space for the rest of the offense. Imagine the scene. Darnold, coming in as quarterback when needed, could also benefit from Andrews' presence, especially considering his red zone efficiency has improved by 18%, now sitting at 52%. That's the kind of upgrade that could make a real difference when it matters most. Now, some might wonder whether the Seahawks can pull off such a move from a cap perspective. Well, with the current cap space and the way teams are managing their rosters, it's not impossible. The Seahawks have shown they're willing to make bold moves, especially when the opportunity presents itself. Plus, they could structuring the deal in a way that fits their cap situation, perhaps including a mid-round pick like a third-rounder in 2026, which is considered a valuable asset for a player like Andrews. This trade wouldn't just be about adding a star. It would be about creating mismatches, forcing defenses to game plan differently, and ultimately elevating the entire offense. And let's not forget the historical context. Teams that have made trades for big-name tight ends in recent years, like the Chiefs with Kels, have seen their offenses jump to elite levels. Kels's trade in 2024, for example, significantly boosted the Chiefs' YAC units and overall offensive output, ultimately helping them stay in the Super Bowl conversation. Andrews, with his comparable skill set, could have a similar impact, especially on a team like Seattle that's already looking strong but could take that leap into genuine Super Bowl contention with just a few strategic moves. Looking at the bigger picture, the Seahawks' chances of making a deep playoff run could improve substantially with Andrews in the fold. His ability to dominate contested catches, around 60% success rate, his help against blitzes, 70%, and his success against zone coverage, 74%, make him a matchup nightmare. He's the kind of player who can turn a game on a single play, especially in critical moments, and that's exactly what the Seahawks need at this stage of the season. The potential addition of Andrews would also send a message to the rest of the league. Seattle is serious about contending and willing to make bold moves to secure their place among NFL's elite. Now, taking a look at the odds, if this trade were to happen, the Seahawks' Super Bowl odds could see a significant boost, moving from plus 3,500 to around plus 2,000. That's a huge jump, reflecting how much of an impact Andrews could have, especially as a mismatch in the playoffs. Teams like the Cardinals, who often rely on zone coverage, would find it even harder to contain him. Plus, historical data shows that tight end trades like the one involving Graham, which turned out to be a catalyst for the Saints' offense, can be the spark that pushes a team into the top-tier echelon. In conclusion, this trade scenario isn't just about adding a talented player. It's about reshaping the Seahawks' entire offensive identity. Andrews would serve as a catalyst, creating mismatches, expanding their red zone options, and elevating the team's overall performance. With the right package, the Seahawks could turn an already promising season into a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl appearance. The Ravens, on the other hand, might be cautious about cap ramifications, but could see this as a strategic move to rebuild their defense or clear space for their future plans. So, Seahawks fans, this is a storyline you definitely don't want to miss. It's the kind of move that could define the franchise for years to come. Whether it happens or not, it's a testament to how aggressive this team is willing to be in pursuit of that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl. Keep your eyes peeled because the next few days could bring some game-changing news, and I'll be here to break it all down for you. Remember, this team is on the rise, and with a little bit of luck, a smart trade, and a lot of heart, the Seahawks can keep marching toward that glory. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.